Because let's keep it a bean. Like, marriage is the highest form of a man's validation to a woman. To a woman. Let's keep it a bean. Let's keep it a bean. You know. So for a lot of women, you know, being married is very much so a badge of honor. So it's kind of pulling the rug from up under them and shaking the ground that they walk on by calling a marriage a situationship, right? Like, and now now that she's questioning her world, now she has to question herself. She says, "Damn, am I in a situationship? Oh no, like, what's happening? Am I in a situationship now? Like she's now that you know she's going to bed, she got on her hair bonnet and her robe and her nightgown. You know what I'm saying? And she probably more than likely most women don't sleep with bras on. You know what I'm saying? But she probably ain't got no panties either. You know what I mean? And at this stage in their marriage, I don't know. I'm just making all this up. This is just don't listen to me. I'm making all this up. So at this stage in her marriage, you know what I'm saying? You know when you first start dating and then she come to bed with no panties on, you like, word? Let's go. But you kind of get used to it, you know what I'm saying? Oh, you know what I'm saying? She come to bed, let's go to sleep. And now, you know, she's scratching her head and her scalp in her hair bonnet, and she's looking at him laying there. He already passed out, right? Because he had a hard day's work. And she's like, damn, why is he with me? Are we in a situationship? Right? And then, so now the can of worms just opened. And you can't sleep now. Now you in the bed, you sitting up, and he's like, babe, you going to sleep? What's up? What's going on? You ain't even watching TV. You just staring at the wall. Like, normally you be watching the latest Tyler Perry thing, right? But no, you just in the dark with your arms folded in your hair bonnet and your nightgown with no panties on, just like looking at your husband and then looking at the wall, looking at your husband and then looking at the wall. Am I in a situationship? Your world is being shook right now. She's revolving her life around a title. You know what I mean? Because remember, this is the highest form of a woman's validation, being married. Your father can tell you you're beautiful. He can tell you he loves you. But when another man who didn't give birth to you and doesn't have to love you and care for you actually loves you and cares for you and wants to marry you, there's no higher validation than that, right? People say, and people contest that and say, oh, there's no love like a child's love. Children don't really love you. They depend on you. let's kick over that sacred cow, okay? Hello, good morning. They don't really love you. They depend on you. So let's get that out the way and move on. Okay, great. But so the other young lady, she replies back and she says, we would call it a marriage, but would they? I was stuck on that one. I was like, oh, this is on my thread. I didn't type that. She did. Like, dang. We would call it a marriage, but would they? You know what I mean? And she's right. Because yo, for those of you who've ever been married, and for those of you who've ever been in a miserable marriage or a marriage that was about to end, maybe you're divorced already. For those of you who are maybe, wherever you are, you get what I'm saying. If you've been in a miserable marriage, the last thing you want to call that marriage is a marriage. I'm laughing, but it's no laughing matter. For like the last thing you want to call a miserable marriage is a marriage. So it's like, it's definitely a situationship with a license on it. And this young lady took the words right out of my mouth. And so yeah, you can wear your badge of honor and say, I'm a situationship. Oh, I scoff at thee. I have a title. I'm a wife. Yes. You know what I'm saying? You can hold your chin up, hold your nose up in the air, right? And you know, you can paint your pretty little picture, you know what I'm saying, with your spirit fingers on having this highest form of validation and having this title and this legal binding contract to the law of the land stating that we are an official couple before the Lord. Yes, right? And with all that pageantry, you're still in a situationship. He's with you just cause, you're with him just cause, and you no different from Ray and Nene down the block. You no different from them. The only difference is y'all have a legal contract. You see what I'm saying? So that was kind of the angle that I was coming at it with. You know what I'm saying? This, well, yeah, pretty much she took the words out of my mouth, but that's really, yeah, it's a means to an end. It's two points, two unique people. So my point was two unique people, you know what I'm saying, coming together to form a unique relationship that progresses, and it can progress into a situationship where she was saying that, hey, folks get together just cause, and it becomes a situationship. So it's a means to an end. So she took the words out of my mouth. Shout out to that young lady. Big ups to her. And this was a good talk. I felt like a lot of these points, a lot of these topics needed to be addressed and handled and broken down so they can forever and consistently be broke. So with that being said, I want to thank each and every